On January 23, 2022, in Baltimore, Maryland, officers from the Baltimore Police Department pulled over a well-known YouTuber who goes by the name to Guns D, whom we'll refer to as Mr. Guns, for driving a vehicle with unregistered license plates. What made the situation even more remarkable was that Mr. Guns was transporting 33 different firearms in his vehicle at the time of the stop. While many might have panicked or refused to cooperate, Mr. Guns remained calm and pulled out his phone to record the entire interaction with the police, turning a tense encounter into a compelling story for his online audience.
How you doing?
Officer Gulak, Baltimore Police Department. The reason I stopped you is because...
Listen, I'm a supervisor for a transport company. Obviously, I'm armed. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
I just gave you my permit and everything. Tags are completely expired. I'm a supervisor for a company. I'm dropping it off so they can take it to the body shop. You see it's fucked up. It's right around the corner. I got some more firearms in the back, but I'm going to let you do your thing.
Okay. So you're from Florida?
I'm from New York.
New York?
Yeah. Okay. But I gotta get it.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, what's up, boss? So when you're your week?
Listen, I know you got me, man. This car not even supposed to be on the street. I was driving. They was gonna come tow it. I'm transporting everything out of here to my other vehicle. I'm just trying to just drive it. I got another car at the dealership. You know what I mean? Because I know it's not supposed to be on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You mind if I see your face, brother?
Oh, no.
You good. So, okay, so are you transporting your gun from the range?
Or? Oh no. I'm well, let me explain. So I'm
you got a handgun on you too.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you what I do. So
okay.
I'm a firearm instructor, state of Maryland, certified firearm instructor.
You got your instructor card?
I got everything. I'm gonna pull everything up for you.
During his discussion with the officers, Mr. Guns explained that he is a certified firearms instructor in the state of Maryland. Specifically, he claimed to be a qualified handgun instructor, a designation given to individuals authorized to teach state-approved courses for handgun qualification and the Maryland Wear and Carry Permit. Under Section 29.03.01.37 of the Code of Maryland Regulations (COMAR), an individual is considered a qualified handgun instructor if they are recognized by the Maryland State Police and the Correctional Training Commission, have received valid instructor certification from a nationally recognized firearms organization, or hold a Maryland-issued qualified handgun instructor license. According to Section 9.03.01.38, individuals without recognition or national certification must obtain a state license before acting as an instructor. To qualify, applicants must show proof of formal handgun training, score at least 80% on a police practical course, and have at least 1 year of experience in handgun instruction. Since Mr. Guns is originally from New York, it appears he may have received certification from a national firearms organization and is in the process of submitting documentation to the Maryland State Police for recognition, allowing him to legally teach handgun courses within the state.
I'm also ex-law enforcement, current.
Where you at? Okay.
So that's why I got machine guns back there, silencers, anything you need, just let me know. But no, seriously. Listen. When I pop the trunk, you gonna be like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? But I got all my documentations in the back seat. I'll give you everything. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure y'all was like, who the hell is this guy? Man, shades on. You know what I mean? Let me check him out.
Okay. And you got?
Yeah, I'm actually, like I said, I was dropping this off because it's not supposed to be on the road. You know what I'm saying? I was dropping it off, taking everything out, and then shooting out to go do a class. Actually, you know what I mean?
Okay. Where your class at?
Gumtree.
Oh, you on Gumtree? Gumtree on Owens Mills.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna make sure your credentials good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Take your time, man. Like I said, if you allow me to pop the trunk, I can give you my other credentials. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna stand by because I want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
That we're safe.
Keep my hands here.
Yeah. Look, listen. You got a lot of arson, and you got this Glock on your chest.
Yes, sir.
Is the AR back there? Is that unloaded?
No, everything is loaded. Everything is loaded.
So you got just do me a favor, keep your hands.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep my hands like this for y'all. That's cool?
Okay, no, you fine. Just
I got
the steering wheel.
Yes, sir.
You have a loaded Glock.
Hey, listen, man. I want everybody to be safe. You know what I mean? And I could be anybody. I could be a fucking terrorist. So I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So I'm waiting on another unit.
Some backup. Y'all called the backup quick, huh?
Yeah. Got in the car. You see me got the car. Sorry, you want past. All right, so I got another unit coming down. We're just gonna make sure everything. Make sure you.
Listen, I got a mask on. I got shades on. lieutenant. You know what I mean? Guns in the back. I could be but like I said, once your man, you know, your backup come. I got everything in the trunk. My document, my federal documentation. You know what I mean?
So you do have a Glock here.
Yes, sir.
On your person?
Yes, sir. I got a Glock on my chest, obviously, and I also have a SIG 365 in my appendix.
In your appendix?
Well,
okay, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Concealed.
Mr. Gunn stated that he was openly carrying a Glock on his chest and concealing a 6RP 365, both of which are considered handguns under Maryland law. To own and carry a handgun in Maryland, individuals must have a handgun qualification license HQL and a wear and carry permit, which require the applicant to be at least 21 years old, complete firearm safety training, and have no disqualifying criminal or mental health history. Previously, Maryland law required applicants to show a good and substantial reason to carry. However, the 2020 Supreme Court decision in Brune struck down a similar requirement in New York, ruling it unconstitutional for violating citizens' right to lawful self-defense. As a result, if Mr. Guns has obtained the proper licenses, his carrying of both firearms is fully legal under current Maryland law.
I walk like this because this is my brand. I'm on IG 2 Guns D. So when you see me, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
you is like Rambo, brother.
Oh man, you have no clue, man. And those are fully automatics in the back, machine guns.
For real?
Yeah, man. That's what I do, man.
Hey, stand right here. Keep an eye on my man. Stay on that side right there. Stay on that side over there. Keep an eye on him. You know what I mean? Do me a favor and keep your hands on the steering wheel. You got me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. You walk around like that every day?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Every day. That's my uniform.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Once we, like I said, it's not that old protocol. Once we get done with this, we good. Now, I mean, I just want to make sure everybody's safe.
You're doing a good job because I could be auditing you.
Huh?
This would be an audit.
Yeah, I'm doing good, ain't
I might have to report you, but you're doing a good job. You know what I mean?
So what I'm gonna do first, okay? You're gonna get your rifle back. I'm gonna take the rifle just to make sure it's safe putting out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna get somebody. Slide up with Torres.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay, he's gonna grab the rifle right there just to make sure it's safe. I'm gonna reach in out and lock your door for my partner.
That's fine.
All right.
When you let me out, you could grab my phone for me, right?
Huh?
You could grab my phone for me, right?
Your phone?
Yeah.
You want me to grab your phone?
Yeah, once we come out.
No. When I got you out, I'm gonna have you come to me. I'm making sure you put your hands up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna secure your guns first. All right, then we're gonna go from there. All right.
No problem.
Okay. So I'm gonna open the door first. All right.
You gotta flick it. There you go.
All right. I want you to slide your right foot out first.
Left foot.
Left foot. My foot. Left foot. Your right foot.
You might try to give me the trick.
All right, put your hands up for me. All right, so we're going to secure the first one first, all right?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to secure it. Hand it to my partner.
Yes, sir.
All right, you get everything back once you get done?
Yes, sir.
You said on your appendix?
Yeah, right there. Now, be careful. Listen. The one in my appendix, right? I want you to you got to take it all out because it's one in the chamber, so I don't want you to shoot my joint off.
No.
The officers ordered the armed individual to step out of the vehicle and temporarily disarmed him while investigating the legality of his firearms. As previously discussed on ATA, police have the authority to order drivers out of their vehicles and conduct searches if there is reasonable suspicion that the individuals are armed and dangerous, a principle affirmed by the U.S. Supreme Court in Adams v. Williams 1972. The purpose of such a limited search is not to gather evidence of a crime, but to allow officers to investigate without fear of violence. Based on this principle, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals held in United States v. Robinson 2017 that officers may frisk and disarm individuals even if they are legally armed, since the inherent risk posed by an armed person remains regardless of the legality of their possession. Furthermore, in Rodriguez v. United States 2015, the Supreme Court ruled that officers may only engage in unrelated investigations during a traffic stop if it does not prolong the stop significantly. However, if independent reasonable suspicion of another crime arises, officers are permitted to extend the stop. Therefore, further investigation into the legality of the suspects, weapons, particularly fully automatic firearms and suppressors, which require special documentation, is likely to be deemed lawful by the court.
Another one?
All right, anyone else? Okay. All right.
State police then call you guys back on that confirmation?
Not yet.
It's part of the weekend.
We about to do it now. Okay? All right. So I'm going to walk you back here with me. All right? Come on. Huh? So you say this blue bag? Where paperwork at? In the front or the back? Okay.
You want to see a black vanilla envelope?
Right here. Okay. All right. Hold on.
Is there another weapon in there? Yes. It's a whole other weapon. You might want to show that to them.
To you, sir.
Suspicion isn't a crime, and I didn't break any
Reasonable
ordinance.
suspicion, yes.
Of a crime. Of a crime.
Reasonable suspicion that you turn around back
Can
there
I just
doing
talk to the
something.
supervisor that's back there?
No, sir. I need your driver's license.
No, I'm done answering questions.
All right, sir. I'm gonna have you step out of the vehicle for me, sir.
For what purpose?
Step out of the vehicle, sir. I just need to identify you.
But for what purpose?
You're making it harder. All I'm trying to do.
I'm trying to make it lawful.
A driver was traveling down a public road near a prison in Georgia when they decided to turn onto a private driveway to make a quick U-turn. Moments later, they were stopped by a police officer who claimed the maneuver was suspicious and demanded to see the driver's identification. However, under Georgia law, specifically OCG, a section for 05 to 9, a driver only required to present their license when lawfully stopped for a traffic violation or a criminal offense. In this case, the driver had committed no such offense. They repeatedly asked the officer to provide a valid legal reason for the stop, something the officer failed to do. What seemed like a simple traffic encounter quickly raised a much bigger question. Can a citizen be compelled to show ID without any legal basis?
Hi.
Everything all right, sir?
Yeah, I was checking out something out on the map.
Okay. All right. You do realize you stopped there, back there.
Yeah, we thought we could get through. Then we saw we couldn't, so we turned around.
All right. You got your driver's license with you?
I do. Am I getting pulled over for something?
Well, you pulled into the water driveway back there.
To turn around.
Yeah. And we're trying to figure out what you were doing. We're trying to identify you.
Is that illegal?
How's my ID going to tell you what I'm doing?
Well, we're trying to identify you.
Okay.
For what?
May I please have your driver's license?
Is that a lawful order?
Yes, sir.
What infraction do you believe
And then
I've
you pulled
committed?
over here on the road, and I checked that.
Because I was going to look at the map. I didn't want to get out my cellular device
Well, that's good.
while I was driving.
Well, that's good. I appreciate it. You have your driver's license?
I have my driver's license with me, but I'm not certain I'm required to give it. Can you state some sort of statute or
Yes, sir.
some sort of infraction?
Anytime you're requested by law enforcement to provide driver's license, you have to provide driver's license.
If you've committed some sort of infraction or
You turn around
crime,
back there.
was
that
that illegal?
illegal?
Was that illegal?
And you pulled in, so we're trying to figure out what
Was
you're
that
doing
illegal?
out there.
When the driver questioned the legality of the officer's demand to present identification, the officer firmly insisted that it was required under Georgia law, yet failed to cite any specific statute to justify the request. In reality, Georgia courts have consistently held that mere suspicion, without concrete evidence of criminal activity, does not meet the reasonable suspicion standard required by the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Fully aware of their rights, the driver calmly pointed this out, emphasizing that turning into a driveway is not illegal and cannot, by itself, constitute a crime or a violation of any law. In a society governed by the rule of law, the distinction between suspicion and reasonable suspicion is not just legal semantics, it is a critical line that protects individual liberty from the overreach of authority.
We were trying to figure out.
I understand that.
We're trying to figure out what you're doing there,
But you're not to figure out what I'm doing, police. You're the law enforcement, police.
and that we're trying to figure out. It's suspicious. So we're just trying to figure out what you were doing there.
Is one of
You have
your
driver's license?
is one of these cars your supervisor?
Yes, sir. It is.
I'd like
but
to talk to your supervisor,
You're going
please.
to talk to me right now. And do you have your driver's license, sir?
I'm not. I don't think I'm required to give you my driver's license, and I'd like to talk to your supervisor to find out.
Yes, sir. May I please get your driver's license?
I don't believe you're giving me a lawful command, sir.
Yes, I am. Sir.
For what purpose do you need my ID? What crime do you or ordinance do you suspect me to have broken?
Because it was suspicious of you to pull
Suspicious?
into
Is
the
that a
driveway and back out
misdemeanor or
and
is
then
that a
pull back
felony?
this way.
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
That's articulable, reasonable suspicion that you were
Of what
doing
crime?
something, that you were loitering or something like that. Do you have
Do you have evidence that I was loitering?
Sir, you pulled in back there, did you not?
I turned around, yeah, because I saw that I couldn't get through.
You
That's
couldn't get
correct.
through. The road was open. I don't know.
Oh, I saw. It looked like there was checkpoints for getting into the prison or something. So we turned around because we didn't think we could get through.
As you can see from our plate, we're not from here, so
I
yeah.
understand that. Do you have your driver's license?
I don't. I'm telling you. Am I lawfully required to give you my ID?
Yes, sir. Yes,
What?
sir.
For what purposes am I lawfully required?
What I just explained to you, sir.
Suspicion isn't a crime, and I didn't break any
Articulable,
ordinance.
reasonable suspicion, yes.
Of a crime. Of a
Articulable,
crime.
reasonable suspicion that you turn around back
Can
there
I just
doing
talk to the
something.
supervisor that's back there?
No, sir. I need your driver's license.
No, I'm done answering questions.
All right, sir. I'm gonna have you step out of the vehicle for me,
For
sir.
what purpose?
Step out of the vehicle, sir. I just need to identify you. That,
But
and that's
for what
all.
purpose?
You're making it harder. All I'm trying to do.
I'm trying to make it lawful.
All I'm trying to do.
What law do you think I broke to pull me over for?
You were down there. You pulled into the.
Yes, I
didn't
did.
know what you were doing, right?
I turned around.
That's the
I told you
warden's
what I'm doing.
residence. That's the warden's residence.
I turned
State
around.
Property,
I didn't
right?
know whose it was.
It's state property. So I came
So
down
it's
here to
public
identify.
property.
That's state property. Okay.
Public property then.
That's state property. Okay.
Was it illegal to turn around on his property?
Well, it's articulably reasonable suspicious that you're performing something
A turnaround
illegal there,
in a
or
vehicle.
you're doing something there when we have other things going on. So if I can please identify
I'm not
you,
from
sir.
this town.
Okay, and that's fine. And all I have to do is identify you. We can get you on your way.
How is identifying me going to tell you what I was doing?
Well, we're making sure that you're not a wanted person. You're somebody that's going to go there and harm the warden or something.
The ID is not going to tell you
I'm making a
that.
formal request for your supervisor right
Okay,
now.
well that's fine, sir.
I'm formally
But-
making a request
and
right now for your
I'm making a
supervisor.
formal request that you provide your driver's license.
But it's not a lawful request, correct?
It is a lawful
For
request.
what reason do I need
Like
to
I
ID
said,
myself?
articulable reason suspicion.
What is the statute? 35 dot
3611 36.
35.3611. What's your statute IDing? It says that if you've committed a crime, if you have
Negative.
in the commission of a crime,
Negative.
already
Go ahead,
committed a crime.
step out for me, sir.
What's up, man?
Go ahead, step out.
I'm trying to get
Step
identified,
back
and I
here.
don't think I need to.
Step back here.
For what reason?
Step back here.
What
Step
did
back
he
here.
explain? He explained that I turned around in someone's driveway.
The situation escalated further when the driver formally requested to speak with his supervisor, a reasonable demand that the officer blatantly ignored. Instead, the officer continued to insist on identification, despite the driver's clear and repeated objections. Under OCGA Section 1610-4, subsection 3, it is unlawful for a public official to knowingly use their position to deprive an individual of their constitutional rights. The driver firmly pointed this out, asserting that the officer's actions, including threats of arrest, amounted to coercion with no legal justification. Faced with the growing threat of an unwarranted arrest, the driver ultimately handed over their ID. However, they made it unmistakably clear that they did so not voluntarily, but under duress, a reluctant act taken only to avoid an unlawful detention.
Yes, I did. I don't know whose driveway was.
Stop and listen. You asked me
Sir.
a question. I'm telling you exactly what I'm
I
doing.
don't. Is it unlawful to turn around in a driveway?
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
So I get where I'm going.
Go ahead.
All right. Currently, there's been events happening there at the prison, correct?
I don't know. I'm from. You can see I'm from
All right,
Florida.
so we're-
Okay. So this is what's going on.
Okay.
There's been events that's happening there at the prison last week. All right. So
I didn't
now
know
we
that.
have an incident going on right now.
I didn't know that
Now,
either.
You pulled into the warden's driveway. Now you're leaving.
I pulled into a driveway. I didn't know whose driveway it was. Wasn't posted for trespassing.
If you
I
will
made
hand
sure
your
to
phone to
look.
your buddy, he can record with both phones, but you're going to step out here and we're going to try to identify you.
Well, how is stepping out going to make me identify?
Because you haven't cooperated. I asked you
Okay,
multiple
so
times.
I'm going to ask
here.
you, sir. So you're a supervisor, correct?
Doesn't matter. This is stop right now.
But is this a lawful request for
Yes.
my ID?
That is correct.
Can you tell me what lawful statute or
Sir,
of what?
Get out.
My wallet's down there, so I can get you my ID from down there.
Can you
I'm
grab
not
the
going to have you
wallet
get
from
it.
right there? Can you grab? I was
I
pointing
can't
at
see
it.
it.
It's right there. That's why I was pointing at it. You think that?
Okay, so I'm going to identify myself.
Let me see your
I'm going to
driver's
identify myself, but I'm going to make sure to follow through with this because I don't believe it's
By
lawful.
all means,
Okay.
please, sir.
So
I'm
you're-
not telling you. I'm not telling
So
you.
you're
can't.
just for the record, you're identifying me right now for what purpose?
Like I told you.
Because you're suspicious.
Turned
Because I'm
around.
suspicious.
Yes, you turned around. You don't know everything that has happened.
I don't know anything that's happened.
Okay,
I'm not
so
from here.
I'm going to explain it to you once I'm able to identify you.
Okay. So you're identifying me for suspicious behavior,
Yes, sir.
and that's not a misdemeanor nor a felony.
It is. It would
nor
be.
have I committed
What-
a traffic infraction.
We don't know what you're doing. But honestly,
This isn't going to tell you what I'm doing. But so, just for the record, I have not made a traffic infraction, correct?
sir,
Is that correct?
You pulled into the water.
Did I
You
make
are
a traffic
articulable-
infraction? Yes or
Sir,
no?
Sir, you pulled into a driveway that does not
Yes, I
belong
did.
to you, right?
Yes.
You don't know who it belongs to.
Correct. I was
All
turning
right,
around.
so
It's
I'm
a
coming down
normal
here.
practice.
I've informed you.
Yes.
When I initially informed you, when I asked for your driver's license, you asked for the reason. I informed you whose driveway that was.
Which I asked was that unlawful,
All right.
and you said and you
Yes,
said it's
I'm
state
trying to
property.
figure. I'm trying to figure out because of the
My
events that
ID is going
occurred.
to make it yes or not
Yes, sir.
unlawful.
Yes, sir.
My
Let
ID
me
is going to
see- let me
change
see
whether
your
it's
driver's
lawful or
license.
not. All right. I am handing you my driver's license
Yes,
under
sir.
duress. Under threat of.
okay.
Am I going to get arrested if I don't give you my license?
Sir, you can be charged. I'm just asking for your driver's license.
Am I going to be arrested if I don't give you
I'm
my
just
driver's
asking
license?
for your driver's license. Yes, sir.
If
you
you're-
can be arrested.
If
You
you're
can.
asking for it, I'm going to say no. If you're requesting it, requiring it by law,
I am requiring
under
it by law.
threat of arrest, then I will.
I
then
am
will give
requiring
you.
it by law. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I am going to get arrested if I don't ID myself.
There is state law that says when you're requested by
That's a
law
yes or
enforcement.
no?
Yes,
Okay.
if you're required by law enforcement, you must provide your driver's
All right. If there's a reasonable suspicion.
This is articulable reasonable suspicion. You just proved
Of what
it.
crime? Of what crime? Whoa! Whoa! Simple battery. You just battered me, sir.
Step out here, because I've given you lawful commands.
And you have my ID.
Please.
And you have my ID.
Please give your phone to your friend, and we're gonna step out here.
Okay, I'm stepping out. You don't need to manhandle me. I'm stepping out.
How am I manhandling? Step out.
Okay, I'm stepping out.
I don't want you doing anything to put the vehicle in drive because I've had that happen before.
I'll shut it off.
All right, thank you.
I didn't even think of that. I apologize.
Step back
Okay,
here.
I'm stepping back.
We're gonna step in front of my car. We'll get out the road.
The confrontation escalated when police officers used force to pull the driver out of the vehicle, an act that could be considered assault under Georgia Criminal Code Section the 23rd of May 16 OCGA. The driver has accused the police of excessive use of force and a serious violation of their civil rights, asserting that they will pursue legal action to hold the officers accountable under the law.
He said rear. You said my car, and he said rear. So that's all right. Drop it. You drop it. Stop barking orders at me, tyrant. That's what you are. You know it. And we're gonna make sure everybody knows it. Hey, go live. Are you live?
No.
Every single cop in this nation is a liar. Then am I free to go? Because this is an illegal detainment. Sir, I'm going to ask you once again. If you want to be a smartass about it, I'll file an internal affairs case on you. You're talking to an ex-law enforcement officer, buddy.
Mike, a former police officer hardened by years on the force, now works as a private detective. He is hired by a desperate husband who suspects his wife of infidelity. Armed with an intimate understanding of the system and skills sharpened by years in law enforcement, Mike begins a discreet and professional surveillance operation. Days of quiet observation finally pay off. He gathers solid evidence confirming the husband's suspicions. But just as he's leaving the scene, Mike is suddenly stopped by the police. Unshaken, he immediately demands to know why he is being detained. An officer explains that a woman has filed a complaint claiming Mike had been following her. Mike firmly denies the accusation, asserting that he has done nothing wrong and that the police have no legal grounds to arrest him. In that tense moment, Mike realizes that investigative work demands not only sharp instincts, but also the ability to navigate the razor-thin line between law and morality.
How are you doing? What's going on with you following me? Are you an investigator of some sort?
Can I ask why you pulled me over, sir?
I pulled you over because the young ladies came over there and said you've been following her since she left the airport yesterday. So I want to know who you are.
Have I committed a crime?
No, but I'm conducting an investigation. Have you been following that young lady? I mean, if you're an investigator, investigate away. But if you're somebody harassing her or stalking her, that's against the law. Me pulling you over to find out who you are is me doing my job.
You mind getting that light out of my eyes?
Sir, it's nighttime. I don't know you from Adam's house cat. I don't know if you have weapons in here.
You see both my hands right here.
Well, I don't know if you have weapons in here, man. So I'm going to keep my flashlight right here where it is. I don't have it in your face. That would be in your face. I have it down. I'm trying to show you that respect. I'm illuminating the vehicle for my safety. Now, would you agree that I've answered every question you've asked me? And all I asked you was one simple question.
Am I free to go?
No, you are not. Not until I find out who you are. I'm conducting an investigation. Do you have your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance on you?
Have you pulled me for a traffic violation, sir?
No, sir. I've already explained that to you. Now, you can play the back and forth rigmarole all you want to. I've explained to you why I pulled you over.
Okay, and you didn't have PC. I'm not suspected of committing a crime.
The probable cause is that you've been following this young lady, and she...
Do you know that, sir? Did you see that? Did you see that, deputy?
Came back by. Why'd you come back by?
I don't have to answer questions.
Okay, you don't have to answer questions. Okay? You do have to identify yourself, sir.
Sir, if you suspect me of committing a crime or about to commit a crime, I have to identify myself. You have no probable cause to pull me for a traffic violation. I asked you why you pulled me.
Because the young lady said that you've been following her since yesterday.
So you believe everything everyone says to you?
I'm conducting an investigation.
Okay. Well, you conduct right away, sir. At this point in time, I elect to not say anything. I elect to speak to my, say anything without having my attorney present. That would be Eric Friday.
Call him. Call him. Tell him to come up here. We're at the 8100 block of Boston Express.
Just so you're aware, you're being videotaped.
Mike's response to the police was not only calm, but resolute. With a deep understanding of the law honed through years as a former officer, he refused to provide identification. He firmly stated that under Florida law, a citizen is not required to disclose their identity unless there is reasonable suspicion that they are committing, have committed, or are about to commit a crime. The officers, however, were unable to present any legitimate grounds to justify such suspicion. Standing his ground, Mike asked plainly, "Am I being detained or am I free to go?" The question caught the officers off guard, leaving them visibly unsure as they realized they had no clear legal basis to hold him. Mike continued the exchange assertive, but lawful, gradually forcing the officers to confront the flaws in their actions. No probable cause, no warrant. Their silence was, in itself, a confession.
I do not care. Do you get my good side? My right side is usually my best side.
Yeah, there's no good side on the cop's face.
Well, you're one of those people.
Yeah, it's one of those people. Yeah, and you're one of those people, right? Gun and badge grant extra rights, right?
No, it doesn't grant me an extra right.
Yeah.
But,
How about you do your job and honor your oath?
Telling me that somebody's been following her since yesterday? Yeah, I'm gonna investigate.
Yeah, and you just take everything everyone comes up to you. Okay, I just said someone pull a gun on me. You're gonna go investigate that?
I sure would. Who pulled a gun on you?
Yeah.
Someone pull a gun on you?
I don't answer questions, Deputy.
You don't answer questions. You just stalk young lady. Just stand by them.
Name and badge number, sir?
Simpson 6619.
Masinsin, M-A-S-I-N-S-I-n. So I'd like to know why I'm being detained.
So someone's saying that you're claiming you're stalking them. What is that? Are you an investigator, right?
Okay, let me make this clear, sir. I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm not giving you gentlemen a hard time.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So I'm gonna roll this window up, okay?
Okay.
I'd like to know.
Someone's alleged.
Let me speak for a moment, sir. No disrespect.
Yeah,
I would like for you to articulate what crime you suspect me of committing, or what crime you suspect me of about to commit.
No, we just have a reasonable suspicion to figure out what's going on here.
No, sir. So you don't get to detain me to figure out if I've committed a crime, sir. The law and the statute states, in order for you to detain me, you must have reasonable, articulable suspicion that either I have committed.
Yeah, we have probable cause.
What is your probable cause?
We got a complaint that we got that's a red.
That's not probable cause, sir.
Throughout the tense confrontation, Mike was more than just a citizen. He was a walking fortress of legal knowledge. Armed with razor-sharp expertise, he boldly exposed the manipulative tactics and abuses of power often employed by law enforcement. He emphasized, as the Supreme Court firmly established in Miranda v. Arizona, that a person has the right to remain silent and bears no obligation to assist the government in building a case against themselves. But Mike didn't stop there. He continued to dismantle the subtle yet dangerous strategies officers use to twist a citizen's words into self-incrimination. But Mike didn't stop there. He continued to dismantle the subtle yet dangerous strategies officers use to twist a citizen's words into self-incrimination.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Stalking.
And you suspect me of committing stalking?
That's what I want to know. Were you anywhere near this? Near
I don't answer questions.
Do you know who she is?
I do not answer questions.
She has no idea who she is.
If you're going to articulate that you suspect me of committing a crime and have reasonable suspicion of that.
If you don't agree with it, if you don't agree with our probable cause.
Your name and badge number, sir?
Sir, what's your name?
Your name and badge number, sir?
Are you going to remember?
But all you're being recorded. I've got 4 cameras in this truck. You're required by policy to issue your name and badge number. I'm going to ask you what. I'm speaking to this gentleman right now. I'll get your name and badge number in a minute. Your name and badge number.
0051.
What's your name?
I just told you.
I didn't hear it because I'm sitting there speaking to this gentleman.
It so you can pick it up later.
Sir, I'm going to ask you once again. If you want to be a smartass about it, I'll file an internal affairs case on you.
I gave you once already.
I didn't hear it. I'm asking you once again. So to spend some professional courtesy and treat me with the respect I deserve.
I did.
What is your name and badge number?
Well, here's so I gave you mine. 0051.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Deputy. Was that so hard?
No.
Your name and badge number, sir.
Time. When I give you my name and badge number, can I have your name?
Name and badge number, sir.
Lou. I'd like to have your name, sir.
See, the thing is, sir, the law states I don't have to give my name and information unless you suspect me of committing a crime.
I don't.
Then am I free to go? Because this is an illegal detainment.
At this time.
This is an illegal detainment.
Okay.
My attorney, Mr. Eric Friday, would love to bring up a civil lawsuit against you and the city for this illegal detainment.
Sir, we're not trying to upset you.
I'm not
We had
upset.
a radio call.
let me give you what
Go right
happened.
ahead, sir.
We got a radio call that a vehicle matching this description of your vehicle was harassing someone in a short sense, okay? Don't know what's transpired. We don't know anything about it. Your car meets what we were told, and that's why we're questioning you.
Okay.
And that's very simple. All we need to do is just ask you your name and the car and where you've been.
May I ask how my name
that.
is going to establish whether I've harassed someone or not?
You ask for our name. It would be nice to have your name as well.
It would be, but see, I don't...
And you don't have to give it
I appreciate
now,
you saying that, sir.
All right, you don't have to give it now, but we'd just like to know, so we can... Gentlemen?
Yeah.
Would that be okay?
My name is Mike, sir. You can address me as Mike.
Okay, that's fine, Mike. That's a great beginning.
All right.
And the reason why is because, like I said, your car matches the description we were given.
I respect that.
Doesn't mean
I respect
you're guilty.
that. I respect that. You're talking to an ex-law enforcement officer, buddy.
All right? We're not saying you're guilty of anything. We didn't say that.
Then
We're
you
not
are illegally
intimating it.
detaining me. I asked the
sir.
last deputy that left what was his reasoning for stopping me. He didn't stop me for traffic. Let me calm down. I shouldn't be yelling at you.
Thank you.
I shouldn't be doing that.
I'm not yelling at you.
This
right?
deputy that stopped me, sir, did not articulate he would stop me for a traffic violation. Then I asked him what his probable cause was, or what crime he suspected me of committing, or what reasonable crime, or reasonable suspicion.
The case is, as I stated, is that we had a description of a vehicle. Your vehicle matched that, and we're just here to determine, no, you're not the one, or yes, you are the one. Very
But see, the
simple.
law protects me. I don't have to answer questions.
Yes, sir. But we're asking for your cooperation. And can we get that cooperation?
I'm cooperating. The fact that I extend my rights doesn't mean I'm not cooperating, sir. Would you agree with that, sir?
But I don't understand it. If you said you were an ex-law enforcement officer, and you understand that when somebody calls us and says, hey, this vehicle was following me, okay? And we stop you, and we ask you questions regarding you, either you did or you didn't.
Correct.
What do you think a citizen, if they weren't doing anything wrong, would say, no, I'm not doing that,
But see,
or
sir,
whatever?
as a law enforcement officer, I realize how LEOs twist people's words. Let me finish speaking, okay?
Yes, please do.
They twist people's words. Any attorney, and all you three gentlemen will know, you don't ever speak to the cops.
I want to hear what he got to say.
You don't ever talk to cops. Never. You never talk to cops unless you're legally obligated to. Nothing good can come from that. I'm very well of my rights, very well aware of my rights. Now, I understand you're doing no fault with that. You are doing your job.
Okay.
And the mere fact that I'm exercising my legal rights does not make me uncooperative. Okay? Now, the fact that someone called you and said they're harassing doesn't give you the general order just to stop people.
No, that wasn't the reason why. Because a person in a vehicle that matched your description was doing that. We didn't say you were doing it.
Okay.
And that's what we're coming down to.
But how do you define harassing? Someone just called says they were harassing. Did you ask her what they did? Did you ask the person?
She said a red truck took a truck was following her in town.
Is that a crime?
We haven't determined that. We just want to make sure.
Do you see where I'm going with this, sir? I mean, I understand. You guys are doing your job, but do you see how this goes? I'm aware of my rights. You do not have, or excuse me, you have the right to ask me whatever question you want.
You're really enjoying this.
I'm not enjoying anything. You know what I am enjoying? How you officers fail to realize that those badges and those guns don't give you the right to violate other people's rights. Sir, you are. I've articulated to you that you are illegally detaining me. And because you choose to abuse your authority and not recognize that what I'm saying is a fact, you are illegally violating my rights.
The delegates grew increasingly uneasy and frustrated as Mike fearlessly called out their misconduct. He reminded them, in no uncertain terms, that the power they hold does not grant them the right to trample on constitutional freedoms. With unwavering conviction, Mike accused the officers of complicity and corruption, declaring, "Every officer who stays silent in the face of a colleague's wrongdoing is complicit." His words weren't just morally piercing, they were legally grounded. Mike cited the landmark Supreme Court ruling in Kyle's the Fist v. Whitley, where the court made it clear, law enforcement has a duty to expose misconduct, and failure to do so renders them complicit. Mike's direct challenge to their integrity struck like a blade through the illusion of untouchable authority, forcing them to retreat. In the face of such firm reasoning and fearless resolve, power itself had no choice but to yield to justice.
Asking you to find out if you are the one or not the one that was violating this other woman's rights.
But I've made it clear, sir, I'm not going to answer questions. I've made it clear I'm not. You don't get to. Yes, sir. The fact that I'm exercising my rights does not mean I'm not cooperating, sir.
Yes, it does.
It does not. It absolutely does not. Now, if I was doing something against the law or resisting you in some manner...
We can't determine that.
But you don't get to question me so I can give you information so you can make a case or not a case. I'm not saying I am this person, I'm not saying I am not this person, but what you fail to realize is I do not have to speak to you, sir. And that does not give you the right to detain me until you get some information to charge me with a crime. You don't get to search and search until I say something or you twist something I say to use it against me. You gentlemen have a dangerous job. There is 19 unsolved murders in this city, okay? You've got much better things to do to fuck with me. Okay? I'm not a threat to anyone.
We're not here to fuck.
What? Sir, there's 5 cops here. The gentleman that pulled me, and if he had any reasonable articulate suspicion, is no longer here. I'm assuming, I don't know where he is or where he's gone. You 3 gentlemen have no first-hand information. No first-hand information. This officer that pulled me over said he spoke with some individual that says apparently I was doing something was classified as harassment.
No, we said. We didn't say you.
You didn't say that. I said that officer.
That your vehicle was pulled.
Now, were you here? See this camera here?
Yes.
That officer stood here and said he spoke to a woman that said I was harassing her and following her for days. I didn't say you 3. The black gentleman, the gentleman that was here a few moments ago, that has now left the scene. So once again, gentlemen, hold on. Let me calm down.
Go ahead.
Once again, gentlemen, if you have a reasonable articulate suspicion of me committing a crime or about to commit a crime, you have a right to detain me, ask me for my ID, which I will oblige you with, as I'm required by law. Short of that standard, you are illegally detaining me. I've asked to be free to go, and you are telling me until I give you some information, I'm not free to go. That is a violation of my rights, sir. Do you understand that?
He's the one that's going to give us your ID. That's all it is.
You know what, guys? I would love to give it to you because I used to be one of them. But because I'm aware of my rights and because of my life experiences with law enforcement, I choose to exercise my rights. Not to be difficult, sir. You guys have much more better things. See, this is it, because people don't know their rights. And because LEOs, I don't know you 3 gentlemen personally. I quit a department because I ratted out the crook cops that worked with me. Okay? I'm sick of it. The corruption is everywhere. Every single cop in this nation is a liar. Alright? I used to be one of them.
And you're calling 3 of us liars.
Yes, sir. If you're going to stand here and tell me you've never falsified tweets, twisted a report just for your benefit, or provided false information, or saw one of your fellow brothers in blue violate someone's rights or do something wrong, by the mere fact of you withholding that information and not going to your supervisor makes you a liar. In your life, you've never ever lied. You've never ever lied in your entire life.
Well, that's something that you're talking about as a police officer or as a human being?
As a police officer, you've never lied in your life. Sir, you're allowed to lie in investigations. The Supreme Court has ruled you're allowed to lie. So your credibility just went out the window for me. I'm a certified interrogator, buddy. Don't sit here and play this game with me. You just lost your credibility. Now, any respectable person would say, of course I've lied. I've lied in the line of duty. I've lied in my personal life. Yeah. I got more integrity in my finger, buddy, than you've got in your whole body.
Okay, sir, back to my original question
Yes,
when
sir.
I first got here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you following somebody?
I don't answer questions, sir.
Okay.
Am I free to go?
Yes, you're free to go.
Thank you.
In the end, Mike prevailed. He forced the deputies to let him go without providing his identity, firmly asserting that a citizen's rights are not erased simply because they inconvenience law enforcement. His refusal to cooperate with their unlawful investigation wasn't just morally justified, it was legally protected. Backed by the precedent set in Terry v. Ohio, Mike made it clear that officers must have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity to detain and question someone, a threshold they had clearly failed to meet. This encounter became a powerful testament to a simple yet profound truth. Legal knowledge can be the line between freedom and abuse of power. The officers who tried to overstep their authority were forced to retreat, not by force, but by firm, unshakable understanding. Mike's unwavering stance didn't just protect himself, it stood as a bold example of how an informed citizen can stop abuse in its tracks. In a world where silence often equals submission, Mike chose the voice of reason and won.
Okay,
I'm not going to listen to any direct. You're dismissed. You're dismissed.
Stop.
I'm going to do it as soon as you leave.
Okay,
as soon as you leave.
Motor vehicles, then I will arrest you.
Is that a crime?
Yes.
What crime is it?
Tampering with motor vehicles.
Tampering is a physical act. Are you fucking retarded?
The interaction began when police officers approached an individual accused of peering into vehicles in a public parking lot. According to the precedent set in Terry v. Ohio, officers must have reasonable suspicion that a person is involved in criminal activity in order to detain them. In this case, however, the individual repeatedly asked why he was being detained, but the officers initially failed to provide a clear and lawful justification, signaling a violation of his fundamental rights. Later, one officer claimed the suspicion was based on interference with a motor vehicle, a vague and unspecific accusation. However, mere suspicion does not constitute a crime, and the individual effectively highlighted this point, exposing the weak legal grounds behind the officer's actions. His sharp rebuttal turned the situation around, underscoring the infringement of civil liberties and rendering the officer's rationale unconvincing.
We just got a call that you were looking through vehicles and everything.
Okay.
So what's that about?
I don't answer questions.
Okay. So why was someone calling me a veteran?
I don't answer questions.
What's up?
I don't answer questions. I know, I don't answer any though. No, definitely not. Actually, if you wanted to write some tickets, I found some cars over there that have expired tabs. Is that something you do?
They're in a private parking lot.
It's a public parking lot though, it's taxpayer funded. Can you speak up so my camera can hear you?
If you're just gonna be difficult with this,
you came to me. You're being difficult for me.
okay. I don't need the attitude.
I don't need the attitude. Go away.
I some concerned citizen because you were looking into cars that are obviously not yours. There's been a string of car break-ins.
At the police department?
This is not the police department.
What's going on?
That's what we're trying to figure out. What's going on with you?
What's your name?
What are you doing out here?
What's your name?
My name is Nate. You're being investigated right now for peeking into cars and being up to no good. What are you doing?
I don't answer questions.
The officers attempted to assert authority by pressuring the individual to provide his name, implying that doing so was a lawful requirement. However, under Section 38.02 of the Texas Penal Code, a person is only required to identify themselves if they have been lawfully arrested, not merely detained. Despite being informed of this legal standard, the officers continued to apply pressure, revealing either a serious lack of understanding or a willful disregard for the law. The individual's refusal to comply with an unlawful demand only further unsettled the officers. When they then attempted to pivot by pointing out that the vehicle's registration tags were expired, it underscored a pattern of selective enforcement, suggesting they were scrambling to justify their actions after the fact, a tactic commonly used when the initial legal basis is weak or non-existent.
Am I being detained?
Yeah, you are detained right now.
For what? Speak up.
I'll talk to the RP and figure out thing I do.
I'm being detained right now?
Yeah, you are detained.
For what?
You should talk to the RP.
Speak up, sir.
I'm not talking to you right now.
Well, you need to tell me why I'm being detained.
I'm talking to her right now.
You need to tell me why I'm being detained, because it's an illegal detainment.
No, it's not an illegal detainment.
It's an illegal detainment because you can't tell me why you're detained.
We're being investigated right now for possibly tampering with motor vehicles. There you go. Any other questions?
I'm being detained for tampering with motor vehicles?
That is
suspicion?
Correct.
Suspicion?
Any suspicion of tampering with motor vehicles?
Is suspicion a crime?
Yes.
Suspicion is not a crime. Suspicion's not a crime.
I didn't say suspicion. So
She did.
anyways, what's your name?
Is that your buddy over there?
I don't know who that is. I think he just wants to watch the show.
Well, it's not a very good show. So
I know, it's got two shitty characters right here.
the reason why we're here is just people called and said that they saw you peering and messing around.
And you already said that. Do you have anything new to say?
So
Do you have anything new to say?
that's why we're here.
Alright, well, I'm being detained. I'd like to know why.
I just explained that to you.
Okay, I'm being detained for suspicion of tampering. Is that correct?
Right now, you are being detained because we got called here that there was a person that matches your description that was peeking in and potentially tampering with vehicles. So right now, we're trying to figure that out.
For what? No, if you just step away, we're trying to figure out what's going on. Dude, stop making
Hey, fuck you.
Dude.
Leave him alone. Yeah, that's right. Keep it pushing, bitch.
Your friend to be arrested for obstruction? No. So just...
Yeah, why don't you go arrest him for obstruction? Is that really what you think you're gonna do right now? You're gonna arrest him for obstruction? What is that, 30 feet away?
Where's your driver's license?
Why would I have a driver's license?
I would like to know one.
Well, that fucking sucks.
When the officers accused the man of interfering with a motor vehicle, he immediately dismissed the allegation, clarifying that interference, under the law, refers to a physical act. He demanded evidence, citing Section 28.03 of the Texas Penal Code, which defines criminal mischief including interference as requiring proof of physical damage or tangible disruption. The officers were unable to produce any such evidence and began to backpedal, attempting to justify their actions by referencing a call from a concerned citizen. However, this tactic failed to hold up, as the individual repeatedly exposed the lack of legal foundation behind their claims. His calm but firm insistence on lawful procedure made it clear that the detention was baseless and unsupported by any credible evidence.
Any more stupid questions?
Are you gonna stop being a dickhead?
Fuck no.
Is this how you talk to every single person?
Nope, just people that harass me.
We're not harassing. We're trying to figure out
Well,
why
you're detaining me and I don't want to be detained right now.
into vehicles that are not yours.
Is that a crime?
Yes.
What crime is it?
Tampering with motor vehicles.
Tampering is a physical act. Are you retarded?
That's why we're investigating it.
Well, I don't have to help you with your investigation. Now fucking hurry up. I'd like to be on my way.
Yeah, if you can just quickly get your name.
Never gonna happen. I told you there's cars over there with
Giving you
expired
a lawful
tabs.
order to provide your name.
You're lawfully requiring me to...
I'm asking you for your name. For your
Nope,
driver's
you
license.
gotta take me to jail.
Is that really worth it, my guy?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's
Take me to
not.
jail.
I'm telling you right now.
Well, you're you know you
I'm
can't.
telling you right now.
You'll lose your qualified immunity and I'll get a bunch of money.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, if you don't know, you should try reading.
Okay, you're just trying to be some big dude saying...
I'm not. I'm sitting down and you're standing next to me with weapons and armor. I'm not a big dude. I'm literally sitting down.
And I'm not a big person either.
I never said you were.
Listen, can I just explain this to you real quick?
Sure.
Imagine somebody was messing with your car in your driveway. And that
Well,
neighbor called.
we're not in a
Just listen to me,
driveway.
just
We're in a police
I understand
department.
that. Let me just explain to you why
No,
we're here.
I'm not. I don't want to listen.
We didn't
I don't
just
fucking
stop here
care.
because we wanted to talk to you.
I don't
We
care.
got called here because someone matching your description was messing with vehicles. We came to investigate it. You matched the description. We're here. I don't see any damage.
Okay.
So, as far as I'm concerned, you're good to go.
Okay. Well, leave me alone.
We don't have. I'm just explaining.
Be
to you
on
why
your way. You're literally blocking a fire lane for a non-emergency. Get the fuck out of here, dumbass. It's not an emergency. It's not an emergency.
It doesn't need to be an emergency for me to park right there.
It doesn't have to be an emergency to block an emergency fire
I'm
lane.
blocking it. I'm not even on the road.
No parking, fire lane.
The fire truck should be driving on the sidewalk. I'm not blocking anybody.
All right, is that what we're here for, or are you guys just here to harass me?
No, it wasn't harassment. It was a
All right, well, hurry the fuck up. I'm sick
It
of
was
this.
a lawful detention of why we're here investigating the activity.
Do you need something? I do not know. You'll have to go to a pharmacy for that.
The medical building near the police station.
Is this a pretty serious detainment? How serious is this detainment? How serious is this detainment?
You have to go to like Walgreens or CVS.
Hey, pay attention. Oh, I can't. You can shut the fuck up.
You have to go to Walgreens or CVS.
Get the fuck away from me.
Yep.
Am I being detained?
Do you want to talk to me longer?
No. Just so you know, if you get caught...
I don't need any instructions.
Okay,
I'm not going to listen to any directives. You're dismissed. You're dismissed.
Stop looking
I'm going to do it as soon as you leave.
Okay,
As soon as you leave.
If you're tampering with motor vehicles, then I will arrest you.
If I what?
If you're tampering with motor vehicles,
I never was and I never will. I don't
So
need any
don't.
directives. I don't need any directives. You're dismissed.
Okay, Nate, we can go. We don't have to-
You have a good day.
You're dismissed.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
The officers ultimately admitted they had no evidence and allowed the individual to leave. Under the Fourth Amendment, prolonged detention without reasonable cause constitutes unlawful arrest, underscoring the officers' misconduct. Before departing, the individual firmly reprimanded the officers for blocking a fire lane without justification, exposing the hypocrisy in their actions. Faced with sharp criticism and a solid understanding of the law, the officers clearly became flustered and withdrew, leaving the individual victorious. This incident not only demonstrated how legal knowledge can protect personal rights, but also revealed how such awareness can dismantle unjust and corrupt law enforcement efforts.
He's scared, as he should be, because a real man faced me man to man, not without the badge and gun, you see. He put his hands on me and physically touched me because he's working inside of the color of law. Now, if he puts me in handcuffs after I showed him that I don't have a weapon, that's an illegal detainment, which means I could sue his ass personally. He no longer has qualified immunity. But see, he's a Neanderthal. He doesn't have any other skill sets.
Jose Maria de Castro, a distinguished law professor, was on his way home from work when he was suddenly stopped by the police. Unaware that they were confronting a legal scholar with a profound command of the law, the officers acted impulsively and ignorantly. But within moments, they realized the gravity of their mistake. With sharp reasoning and deep legal insight, the professor rendered them speechless. In the end, those who enforced the law blindly were forced to step down, defeated by intellect and justice.
Do you have a driver's license, please? Insurance and registration.
I sure do.
Okay.
Is there a reason why you pulled me over?
Yes, there is. You ran a red light when you were at University and Rural, and then you made an improper turn right here. When you cut the car off, that was the lane number L2. Do you have a driver's license, please?
I do, but it's in here. You're not going to be scared if I reach it, are you?
Do you have any weapons?
Well, I don't answer any questions, but you can clearly see inside of my vehicle, I have camera equipment. I'm a TV producer.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license, please?
I do.
Could you grab it for me, please?
But I did a U-turn where the road was closed. I just want you to notice that.
All right. Could you give me your driver's license, please?
I can, but I got to reach in here, and I don't want you to be scared.
Just give me your driver's license.
This is the Mullen Commission. I teach constitutional law.
Okay.
Just become tyrants. Like, I'm not usually this close to someone who's just so dangerous that carries a gun around pulling people over, demanding things. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous the way you guys behave, and you wonder why people don't like you. I mean, look how you behave. You didn't see the road was closed back there?
I'm just asking for your identification.
But you didn't see the road was closed. It was plain as day the road was closed. You didn't see that?
I need your driver's license, your insurance, registration, please.
Listen, you can be short all you want, but I don't exactly drive around with my identification showing for people to see it. I mean, I can't believe you even pulled me over, to be honest. You could clearly see that road was closed.
The police accused him of reckless driving, but he quickly defended himself, claiming he had dashcam footage to prove his innocence. Upon reviewing the evidence, it became clear that the police were in the wrong. However, instead of dropping the charge, they decided to fine him for a different offense. As he stepped out of the car to receive the ticket, the atmosphere grew tense. The confrontation between him and the officers escalated quickly, pushing the situation to the brink of control.
It's on the other side. Let me get my
on the passenger side.
I can get it. I don't need you. I don't need your help. You can. Okay. I'm not a criminal, so get the fuck off of me, brother.
I'm gonna have you wait in your car.
No, I'm gonna grab my registration like you asked me to do.
Sir, I'm gonna have you wait in your car.
You're not giving me a lawful order. I teach constitutional law. Be very careful what you do.
Okay, this is
very careful. I'm going. You're not for officer safety.
This is for
under Terry versus Ohio. I'm Pennsylvania versus Mims right now. I'm outside of my car. The 1978 holding. Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm allowed to go over and get my registration as he asked me to do. Stop demanding. Look what he's doing. He's demanding me around.
Yes.
This is not a lawful order.
Directing you back into your vehicle.
No, because I said don't tell me what to do.
Directing you back into your vehicle.
No, because I said don't tell me what to do. You don't understand. If you make one mistake here, I will go after you.
Okay.
So now let me get my registration as he asked me to do.
I'm going to have you wait in your vehicle.
I need to go around the other side to get my registration.
Okay. When I'm ready
He's
to
already looked at. You're not the boss of me. You're a cop doing a job.
Yes.
You have no other skills than this.
This is my traffic stop.
This is not your traffic stop. This is my freedom.
So I'm going to
He asked me to get the registration. I'm getting it. No.
I'm asking you to wait in your car.
No. The answer is no. The answer is no. You cannot demand that I do unlawful orders. I teach constitutional law. Be very careful, officer.
Okay.
You don't think that it'll affect you, but by about the second year, when I get into your jacket and you get a complaint on your jacket, and then you get demoted from overtime, and then that affects your pension.
Get your hand out of my face.
My hand's not in your face. I'm having a discussion like a regular. Now you're touching me. Get your fucking hands off me.
You moved into me. I was standing right here.
Look, who's walking up and doing what to who?
I'm not moving at all, sir.
I have 300,000 followers, brother. They're gonna love this. I'm trying to get my registration as he asked me to do. I'm not a danger to anybody. I've already showed him the inside of my car.
Nobody has asked you to exit the vehicle.
Okay, I'm getting the registration. Why are you in my face? I don't understand this. You want to follow me? He wants the registration. I want to get it for him.
I want you to keep waiting right here in your driver's seat.
Listen, see, this is the problem with police in America. This guy right here is an authoritarian piece of shit. This guy right here, he's trying to demand me around. What he doesn't understand is he doesn't have dominion over me. I'm not under arrest. And since I'm clearly going to identify I don't have any weapons, now he can't Terry stop me. Do you see the difference? If he didn't know I didn't have weapons, then he could handcuff me. But because now if he does handcuff me, he's working outside of the color of law. And that's U.S. Code 18, Section 242. You can't let tyrants like this push you around. He literally was physically touching me, when if he didn't have that badge and gun, he would never do that to me, ever, because he knows better. He knows what would happen, don't you? Without that badge and gun, we both know what would happen. You're the beta male, I'm the alpha male, and you know that. And you're scared, and you know you are. That's why you have your hand on your gun, because you're scared. Look, he's scared, as he should be, because a real man face me man to man, not without the badge and gun, you see? He put his hands on me and physically touched me because he's working inside of the color of law. Now, if he puts me in handcuffs after I showed him that I don't have a weapon, that's an illegal detainment, which means I could sue his ass personally. He no longer has qualified immunity. But see, he's a Neanderthal. He doesn't have any other skill sets. The only skill set he has is to be an authoritarian. Like, he doesn't want me to go over and get my registration, not because they don't need the registration, because he wants to dominate me and control me. But you see, he's actually a coward. You can see it on his face. He's terrified. Because if he didn't have the badge and gun, he knows he would have no chance against a man like me. He knows that. He knows it. That's why he's dressed up like a coward. That's why he's the way he is. You see? He doesn't have any real power. The only power he has is using the color of law. He physically put his hand on me a second ago. Would you put your hand on me physically if you didn't have the badge and gun on? Would you still try to accost me physically? Or do you know how that would go?
Do you know what a cost is?
A cost? I know exactly what a cost is. I teach constitutional law. Let me just give you a lesson here. So just so you guys can see, I'm showing the coward. There's the 1977 holdings of Pennsylvania versus Mims. That's an extension of Terry versus Ohio. Now see, what the coward here is trying to do is he wants to Terry stop me and put his hands on me. But what he doesn't understand is that Pennsylvania versus Mims has a very explicit statute. The officer has to believe that I'm armed and dangerous before he can jerk me out of my car or detain me with handcuffs. So show me what my camera gear in my backpack here. What would make you assume that I'm armed and dangerous? And why are you up on me, right? It's like, this is the way American police treat American citizens. It's completely uncalled for. And they pulled me over because there was a road down there that was
your citation. You have to take it by the.
What's my citation for?
January red light violation, improper turn. The bag plus citation.
You couldn't see the road was closed back there? Oh, go to hell, dude. You guys are both authoritarian. Oh, can I walk over here now? Are you still scared, copper? Are you still scared?
Oh, we're done with our stop.
Are you still scared? Are you still scared?
Have a good night.
Yeah, coward.
The officer was stunned into silence when he realized who he was dealing with. The man didn't just defend himself, he taught the officer a lesson, leaving him speechless. The silence wasn't born of agreement, but of respect and sheer awe at the man's composure and reasoning. In that moment, the line between authority and civilian vanished, only the raw truth remained. His power didn't come from shouting, but from calm confidence and razor-sharp logic. The officer could do nothing but quietly step back, carrying with him a lesson he wouldn't soon forget.
What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't
have you
to...
ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a dick to me.
This man is a retired U.S. Navy veteran who served his country with dedication. While fulfilling his civic duty as a juror, he was unexpectedly detained by authorities on his way home from court for reasons that were bizarre and difficult to comprehend. The incident represented a serious violation of his civil rights and sparked a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that drew widespread public attention.
Hi there. Hey. What's this in your back pocket? I just saw you walking it.
It's a navigational aids. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Body camera footage from the Columbia County Sheriff captures a shocking moment. Officers arrested a legally blind man on his way home after completing jury duty, simply because they mistook his white cane for a dangerous weapon.
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
The officers quickly demanded that the man provide his name and date of birth, but he firmly refused. As someone well-versed in the law, he knew he was under no obligation to disclose his personal information in the absence of any reasonable suspicion.
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't
have you ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a dick to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
Mr. James asked the officers why they had stopped him and what the grounds for suspicion were to justify the detention, but the police offered no response.
No, sir, I'm doing my job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in?
supervisor,
He's right here.
All right. Or a walking stick. And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime.
Mr. James calmly approached the police vehicle, choosing not to engage with the officer who had initially stopped him, believing that the second officer might better understand the situation.
Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed, okay? So there is no problem. You got your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it, okay?
Mr. James explained the law to the officers with the clarity of a teacher instructing students, emphasizing that no laws had been broken and there was no reasonable suspicion. Despite having already presented his ID and white cane, the officers grew visibly irritated. It seemed they couldn't accept being lectured on the law by an ordinary citizen. But Mr. James was no ordinary citizen. He was a respected juror, someone who understood his rights deeply. Calmly, he informed the officers that he was legally blind and that his vision is often impaired, which is precisely why he carries the cane.
Sir, are you legally blind? Yes, I am. Okay. I had to walk up here in the dark for jury duty, which was canceled. Why aren't you using your stick? You don't have to use your stick all the time? Not all the time.
26. Green. All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number. You know, I put him in jail for resisting.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I want your name and badge number too, sir.
Have a seat.
You wanna pick my property up, please?
I sure will, after you have a seat.
You wanna pull this out of my back pocket?
Sure. Here, I'll grab your jacket for you too.
Mr. James formally filed a complaint stating that despite his lawful request, the officers took him to the Columbia County Jail and charged him with nonviolent resistance. Furthermore, he alleged that he was held in a detention cell for over 24 hours simply because two officers believed he had been disrespectful. This incident not only violated his fundamental civil rights, but also raised serious questions about how law enforcement treats citizens like him. Mr. James is determined to seek justice and transparency in this matter.
Didn't do anything wrong. This is a retaliatory stop for something that you thought you heard.
No, by the way, lights are required 1 hour before dusk. Just FYI.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be great. Write your information down on your contact information. You're a public servant. Write your information down.
Would you like to go obtain a copy of the General Orders at the Sheriff's Office? I'm not required to give you.
I don't have to do anything. You work for me. I don't work for you.
Recorded right there.
Okay.
A dramatic encounter with law enforcement raises pressing questions about the line between authority and justice. Is this a case of lawful policing or a personal vendetta hidden behind a badge? Stay with us until the end to uncover the truth behind this intense confrontation, where the boundary between justice and abuse of power becomes dangerously blurred.
Hey, is there a problem?
Yeah, this deputy told you I already explained to you. Got your license, registration, proof of insurance.
What'd you pull this over for?
Hey, bud, I got a question. Are you the one that said losers out the window as you drove by?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, yeah, that was definitely you. And that is loud and boisterous conduct upon a public roadway. That's public disorderly conduct.
Here's my license.
So that's what you pulled us over for, is you thought you heard somebody say something?
Why don't you ask that one over there? Mister, I don't answer questions.
Hey, listen here, you idiot. You work for us. You're a public servant. You're supposed to be professional, not me. I don't have a code of conduct to go by. You do.
Okay.
Name and badge number?
Yes, Andrew.